Hey, it's Alan Westlake with Westlake Plumbing. I'm here on one of Randy James's projects in Little Rock in one of their newer subdivisions, Mountain Brook. This is actually a spec home, and ironically, Brittany's going to be able to be with me today. And she was going to a fixture meeting, and we thought that we'd just ask her to come along and maybe help us with some tips for selections for spec homes. So Brittany, as you're thinking about connecting with a builder and maybe some things that they ask you for their selections, what are they really looking for in a spec home when they're buying their faucets?
Yeah, so a lot of our builders are looking for things that are going to be cost effective, but still a good brand and a good fixture for any of their spec homes, future homes.
So Brittany, one of the other things they might be looking at is, there's a color scheme in every house. How important is that in the selection of the finishes of the product?
It's very important. A lot of customers will provide their vision board. That'll give me a more broad idea of what they're looking for and to be able to complement the finish to that vision board.
So I'm seeing here we have a pedestal tub here. I think we're seeing this a little bit more frequently in homes. Are you seeing this in a lot of the, actually all the homes that we do, are custom homes for sure, but you're actually starting to see this in some spec homes as well?
Yeah, absolutely. The pedestal tub just really brings the bathroom to life. It helps, it complements the whole bathroom and just brings it together.
Also, we have what's called a deck mount valve above this tub. There are two different ways to do this. What kind of conversations do you have to have with the builder on the front end if he chooses a deck mount valve, as opposed to the floor mount valve that would be off to the side or on one end? Do you get to talk to the customers about that at all?
The valves with the tub fillers, a customer when choosing that is leaning more towards, once again, cost effective because it is a spec home. However, a deck mount is easier, to reach over and to fill the tub.
So in a spec home, they're probably going to lend themselves more to a deck mount situation than a floor mount. That valve's just a little bit more, isn't it?
It is. A floor mount is almost triple the cost if you were to choose a deck mount or even a wall mount faucet.
Well, tell me a little more about sinks or what they are. They're pretty simple. When you're making your selections, you're going to match the finish of something that's going to be really visual like this. So you'll probably just match the valve that goes with that. Tell me about the shower. I know the most economical way to do a shower would be just put a shower valve and have a shower head in there. What are some things that builders do that maybe add a little bit to that, but stays in the real good economic side of it?
Yeah, so we can even add a intuitions head. It'll still allow you to have a handheld in the shower if you just want to pull it down. You clean the shower, use it when you're bathing. It's a very economic way to add that feature without adding a lot of additional cost.
That's really important. I'm sure that the builders need that. As you think about some of these things, what's different for a custom home? We'll talk about that just for a second. I know we're not in a custom home, but what happens in there when you're thinking about that vision board and how that customer looks at their home?
So a lot of our custom homes are a little more detailed. Instead of an intuitions head, they may want to switch to a handheld on a bar or a handheld on a hook. They may want a floor mount tub filler instead of a deck mount. There's a lot of different things that go into a more custom home versus your spec homes that you have to really take into accommodation. They may want a higher scale collection.
Well, here we are in the kitchen. It's a great looking kitchen. We've got a pull out faucet here and got our disposal switch. One of the things I want to talk about, we see this in a lot of spec homes. We actually see it in our custom homes. Years ago, we used to provide absolutely every sink that went into a home. So tell me about that process now. And we don't do that as much sometimes, specifically for kitchen sinks. Now we'll still do it for bathrooms a lot, but tell me why we don't do the kitchen sink some.
Yeah, so a lot of our customers will have their countertop company that they've hired to provide the sink. That way they can go in and make sure all of the measurements are correct and they've already got that sink available with that information and specs that they need.
That saves us a lot of time in the build, specifically when you're doing a spec home that the builder's going to be selling. Time is money. Time is important. Staying on schedule is important. So that's just one less thing that we actually have to coordinate and collaborate with the solid surface people. So they can go ahead and do that. They have it. When we show up to do our final, they're actually already installed and ready for us. And so we just hook up to them and go. So there's a lot of little things that builders do that have a spec home for sale that actually help move that thing faster. This is a gorgeous home. We like the color schemes in it. Randy James does a great job out here in Mountain Brook. Look him up, and thank you for being a part of our tour today.